what was like, I know there's probably a bunch, but what was like what was the lowest point you think you've had, like, being in business? Because everyone in business has low points, and I feel like no one ever talks about it, and there's never, like, an outlet where people can say, like, you always hear about how good people do and what they've done, but, like, what was one of the low points that was tough?
I mean, I think early on, when I didn't have any money, and I was trying to, you sell a piece of property, and literally you don't get paid for like 3 or 4 months. So I think, the lowest point was me trying to actually get my feet off the ground. And then when I bought my first building, I remember like dumping everything I had into this property, and I had like $200 in my checking account. And I literally crapped myself because, the thought of me having to have something break down or, just the unexpected and not me having any backup. It wasn't like I could go to, somebody for help. I didn't have that. I didn't have that backing to do that. So I think that was a real challenge for me, and I had a ton of sleepless nights.
Don't you feel like that's the reason you were successful, though? Because, like, you couldn't fail? Like, I feel like a lot of people don't do well because there's always that, like, well, if I fail, this person can bail me out, or if I fail, I can file bankruptcy. Like, I feel like if you have the mentality of, I can't fail, I'm gonna win.
I would agree with that for sure. I mean, I had no safety net. I didn't have it, and maybe that was the reason why. I mean, I did a lot of praying. I believe in God tremendously and Him, helping me out. But I think that was a major part of it. I couldn't fail because I didn't have anything else to do, and like I said, I literally didn't even finish, my college degree because I literally got into real estate and I put my head down and I never turned back. It wasn't because I didn't really want to do it. It's just because, I just felt that I could do this better and faster. And a degree to me, although it's very important and, I don't diminish it at all, it wasn't for me. Like, it wasn't my route to go.
Agreed.
So.
Agreed. Do you feel, for people that want to get into real estate and for people that, because out of all my clients, I feel like real estate's like that one thing that people talk about because they feel like it's like, the best source of passive income, the best way to, like, make money while you're sleeping. I'm sure you hear all the reasons why people want to get into it. Do you think buying a double and, like, people always say, I want to buy a double and then, run out the upper and then buy another double. Do you think that's better? Or do you think, like, actually, like, buying, like, saving up your money and buying something bigger is the way to go? Like, now that you've done it, and I feel like you've probably done it all and seen it all, if you had to tell someone who is 21 years old who says, I want to get into it, what would you tell them to do?
I'd probably find out what their end game is. I'd probably find out, like, is real estate investment their actual end game and they want to really make a living at it, or is it something just to have a passive income? Because, there's two different directions you can take somebody. I'm not a big proponent of doubles. It's a great method if somebody wants to buy something and live in it and rent out the other. You're not going to make a ton of money with it, but it serves a purpose. It's better than renting an apartment. You own your own property. There's somebody else helping you pay the rent. There's nothing wrong with it. But if somebody were to say to me, hey, Chris, you know what, this is going to be my career, I would try to encourage them to get into something larger because the reality is you're going to show up at the property anyway. So if you're going to work on 2 units or you're going to work on 6, the return's much better. Now, everybody could say, well, what if I can't get into 6 units? I guess you start and you get into what you can and then you grow it from there. And it really is dependent on what you want to get out of it.